It seems like today I'm going to be the NFL head coach defender, but I'm sorry, people. Right now, I have to defend Matt Nagy, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Matt Nagy is not the problem with the Chicago Bears. Very similar to Doug Peterson, in Philadelphia. Everyone's calling for Doug Peterson's job. They're acting like he's a terrible head coach, but in reality, Carson Wentz just stinks. The roster's not very good. Doug Peterson is clearly not the problem in Philadelphia. And right now, Matt Nagy is clearly not the problem in Chicago. Now, again, to be very fair, I'm not saying Matt Nagy is perfect, because he's not perfect. No NFL head coach is perfect, by the way. He's not an elite head coach by any stretch of the matter. He's not on Sean McVay or, even Kyle Shanahan's level or even Matt LaFleur's level, But Matt Nagy is a very solid head coach. A lot of NFL teams wish they had Matt Nagy as their head coach. I guarantee you, if you put a lie detector to some of these teams, some teams like the Jets, some teams like the Jaguars, they take Matt Nagy in a heartbeat. And I guarantee you, if Matt Nagy were to be fired today by the Chicago Bears, he'd get a lot of job offers. He'd get offers from the Jets. He'd get offers from the Texans. He'd get offers from the Chargers. And he'd get some offers from the Falcons. Again, I have no living proof of that, but I'm just going to speculate that he would get those offers because he's a pretty solid head coach. You could do a whole lot worse than Matt Nagy. Over the last 3 seasons, Matt Nagy has a 25-18 record. So he's won 58% of his games. In 2018, the team went 12-4. They went to the playoffs. He was great that season. Last year, the team took a step back. They were 8-8. And this year, the team is 5-6. They're probably going to finish anywhere from 7 to 9 wins on the season. So like I mentioned earlier, the Chicago Bears are not going to the playoffs. They don't check off enough boxes. There's some really good NFC teams out there in Chicago. They don't fit the criteria, in my opinion. They're just not good enough to be a playoff team. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. But folks, Matt Nagy has won 58% of his games 3 years into his coaching career in Chicago. Do you know how many games Chicago won before Matt Nagy got there? So over the past 3 years, he's won 25 games. The previous 3 seasons, Chicago won 14 games. Over that time span, over that 3-year period before Matt Nagy got there, I think it's fair to compare the 3 years before he got there to the 3 years since he's gotten there. So we've seen 3 years of Nagy, and let's compare the 3 years before Matt Nagy got there. The 3 years before Matt Nagy got there, Chicago only won 29% of their games. Since Matt Nagy has taken over, he's won 58% of his games. I'd say that's a huge improvement, okay? And listen, here's the thing you need to keep in mind. Matt Nagy is playing in a division with Aaron Rodgers. So he's always behind the 8 ball because more times than not, it doesn't matter how good your roster is, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to win that division more times than not because he's just a quarterback that's so talented that he's going to win anywhere from 10 to 13 games every single season. And also, Matt Nagy's never had great quarterback play. I'm sorry, but if Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles are your starting quarterbacks, I'm not scared of your football team. Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. He deserves our respect. But ever since he won that Super Bowl, he has been a shell of himself. That's a proven fact, okay? And you know what I want to do right now? I want to compare Matt Nagy's career winning percentage to a couple of head coaches that you guys might think that Matt Nagy is not better than right now, okay? So let's compare Matt Nagy to Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's won a Super Bowl. I say he's a better head coach than Matt Nagy. Doug Peterson, for his career, has won 53% of his games. Matt Nagy, 58%. Kyle Shanahan, who's been to a Super Bowl in the past, who a lot of people think might be a top 5 head coach right now, guess what? His career winning percentage is at 45%. Advantage, Matt Nagy. Sean McDermott, his career winning percentage is 56%. Advantage, Matt Nagy. Frank Wright, the Indianapolis Colts head coach, his career winning percentage is at 56%. Advantage, Matt Nagy. Mike Zimmer, he's at 58% for his career as far as winning percentage goes. So it's a tie right there. Ron Rivera, a guy who's been to a Super Bowl, a guy that gets rave reviews from head coaches. He's at 53% for his career winning percentage. Advantage Matt Nagy, Bruce Arians. He's at 58% for his career. It's a tie between him and Matt Nagy because both have 58% as far as their career winning percentage. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you that Matt Nagy is better than this head coach, worse than that head coach. All I'm trying to tell you is he's better than you guys think. And I don't care how good of a head coach you are. If you have a terrible quarterback, you're not going to win football games. It's just that plain and simple. And Matt Nagy has not had great quarterback play. That's just the harsh reality that you Chicago Bears fans need to admit. Everyone talks about, what if Sam Darnold had a better head coach? Oh, what if Daniel Jones had more talent around him? Well, why don't we start thinking about some of these head coaches? What if Matt Nagy was coaching Kyler Murray? What if he was coaching Aaron Rodgers? What if he was coaching Patrick Mahomes? Heck, what if he was coaching Matthew Stafford in Detroit? You mean to tell me he couldn't win games with Matthew Stafford? The guy won 12 games with Mitchell Trubisky starting. Mitchell Trubisky's awful. He's a bust. He's terrible. He's no good. So people, slow down a little bit. Slow down with the Matt Nagy criticism. Matt Nagy is a very solid head coach. And in my opinion, if the Chicago Bears fire Matt Nagy after this year, they will be doing themselves a disservice. Unless they can get Eric Bieniemy or someone like that on the market, unless they can get a clear-cut upgrade over Matt Nagy, I think that it would be a bad move to fire Matt Nagy because you know what bad franchises and bad organizations do? They fire head coaches too quickly because they think everything can be a quick fix. You know, oh, we stink this year. Let's get rid of the quarterback. Let's get rid of the head coach. If we get a better quarterback or a better head coach, we'll be a better football team. That's what Washington has been doing every single year for decades. That's what the Cleveland Browns have been doing for so many years. That's what the New York Jets have done time and time again. That's what the Jacksonville Jaguars have been doing time and time again. Bad organizations move off of competent coaches and competent quarterbacks way too quickly because they think everything is a quick fix. Remember when people were questioning Mike Vrabel, and then when Mike Vrabel made the switch from Marcus Mariota to Ryan Tannehill? He goes all the way to an AFC title game. Quarterback play matters, people. Matt Nagy is not the problem in Chicago. You know who you should really blame for the Chicago Bears struggles? You should blame Ryan Pace for not getting the quarterback situation figured out and drafting Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. I believe that Matt Nagy is a solid head coach, and he is not the problem with the Chicago Bears as I speak today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.